brand new album, Aurora Noise. Tell us about the album title. What's all that about? Why Aurora Noise as a title?
It's a bit clever, which is not the usual sort of thing we do, but the reason Aurora Noise is because we wanted to get away from the computers a bit, so we used to use a lot of dance sounds and that, so it's Aurora Noise.
Aurora
Noise is one reason, and the other is I lived in Alaska for a while and saw the Aurora Borealis quite a bit, and it sort of sizzles and makes noises, and a lot of people were saying that's God talking to people and giving warnings, so that was the reason.
Can you do me a favour? Can you move the microphone slightly away from you, because you're making it pop,
oh, sorry,
and it does very strange things. And,
sorry about that. You should know about these things.
You should. Yeah. You think so?
You're doing enough years.
Yeah. So Aurora Noise. So it's right. So was the acoustic album part of that process? Do you think that's helped you go in this kind of direction overall?
I think it definitely did. I think it was a real eye-opener to us in just exploring different sort of textures with the music, and I mean, a lot of the songs were born out of that sort of phase, really.
A lot more real instruments and real drums and real bass.
Because when you started, you were kind of like almost a mixture of techno and rock, weren't you?
Yeah, we were quite industrial, I think, sounds and loops. Yeah.
And I think, for me personally, I think that I like that era of what you were doing, and with the last sort of major album, you became a bit more prog, I thought.
Yeah.
and that's kind of continued on this album, with 13-minute songs and things.
That's right.
Yeah. So would you own those kind of prog tendencies?
I think always.
Probably, yes.
Always listen to a bit of prog anyway.
Yeah. But then even on our first album, we had a track called Coming Back, which sort of had prog leanings, I suppose.
Well, some that didn't make that album, they were even more proggy, really, weren't they? But that's what we were told to put on at the time, isn't it?
I think progressive's kind of it's almost like we just like things that change from one thing to another in sounds. It's more the textures, really, I suppose, that we're into.
Because it is used as a pejorative term these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like prog isn't very trendy and stuff. But basically, any musician who wants to be a really good musician and do something interesting can get labelled that way.
Yeah.
Particularly if you want to play complicated music, which you guys clearly do.
So we spent most of our career sort of trying to avoid 80s keyboard sounds, yet they're very much in sort of modern sort of music. There's stuff like Metro Station especially, and thought, hang on, we've been trying to avoid that kind of sound for ages.
And then suddenly it's true. It's just bad luck, really. You're always doing the wrong thing. So there were Celtic things in here as well. Where's that coming from?
Again, I travel up to Scotland quite a bit, so obviously that comes in from that, I think. And I love Celtic music, and also the idealisms of sort of Celtic Christianity are something I'm kind of into.
Right.
So that's all there. I think it's kind of a bit of a mishmash of lots of things, but the industrial samples are still going on in the background there. And I always have a fight with Phil, the drummer, because I want to use more loops and samples, and Phil wants to use these real drum things, which
because he doesn't want to be unemployed.
Exactly.
I'm an insecure drummer.
Hey, listen, it could be worse. There's a band that I've been talking to, and they've got a DJ. And I keep on saying, you should just get rid of the DJ, man. Save yourself some money, split the money 4 ways instead of 5 ways, But he's still there. But, and you're not going to get replaced by a machine.
No, I'm there.
Which is a good thing. So musically, approaching this album, is it just did different songs just evolve in different ways? I mean, because it's taken you quite a long time to do the album. So with that slow process, is there a common theme of how you were writing and recording? Or?
I think it's quite funny, really, because we had about 5 or 6 songs, although it had been 6-7 years since the last one. Then suddenly we thought we're going to have to do another album, and we had to rush 5 or 6 songs really quick. So, which was quite a good thing, really, because it makes you sort of be focused on things. So, but it's a bit of most of them are in the last year or two, really. So that's had an effect.
But I mean, I think as well for the songs, I mean, you've been through a lot of stuff, haven't you? And so that comes out in the songs, your experiences. And I think although it's sort of maybe not been a conscious sort of writing process, I think you can bring those experiences to the songs. And I think there's a real power in a lot of what you've written. And I think when you're focused, you get on and really do it, don't you? It's
Yeah.
sort of
Sadly, my mum died a couple of years ago, which obviously inspired a song on the album called So Long, which is quite an important song to us. But yeah, it's things like that. Obviously, sort of, it's a much more real album. I think before we would be singing about fairies and things like that. And this
In true
album's-
prog fashion.
and this one's a lot more sort of real experiences. Yeah.
So you know, when you're talking about real experiences and everything, I mean, what other things? So you mentioned your mother dying. What other things have you been
Seeing sort of friends split up, sort of relationship stuff. So seeing a lot of that. Yeah, I suppose that you in the band had sort of experienced sort of childbirth and all those sort of things.
Not
Not
personally,
personally.
no. We were present. Yeah.
Were you present?
yes, I was present. Yes.
I'm impressed.
Yes.
See, I don't know whether I could do that. The blood and everything would probably get to me.
Well, I don't know. I think that's sort of the process takes over. Really, you're kind of fascinated.
You just kind of caught up with the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's not like it is on Holby City at all. That's a lot longer. Yeah. It's not like I go straight in and out and baby's in your arm. You're sort of there for a few hours.
Right.
So that was a surprise.
Nobody warned you about that, Steve.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't fast forward that bit.
It's crazy.
Mm.
Let's play Salon then. You were mentioning that.
Right, yeah.
Tell me about writing it.
It was very quick actually. Obviously, it's a difficult thing because my relationship with Mum wasn't brilliant. But just before she died, I think she must have known and sort of made a peace with me, which was really important. But I think she made her peace with God as well. So it's really talking about that.